Okay, here we go. All right. Everybody knew it had to happen eventually. I had to talk about you people, the unemotional, unfeeling, hardworking, such a sacrifice, weird goat people, the Capricorn. I'm just joking. Or am I? No, I'm not joking. You guys are probably one of my least favorite signs, but I love you anyway. Capricorn. Okay, let's get into Capricorn. Why do I like Capricorn? Why do I dislike Capricorn? Capricorn is born December 21st, January 21st. They are cardinal Earth, so they are very, again, cardinal, one direction, one track mind. They get the job done. They're very good with money. A lot of CEOs and C-level executives are Capricorns in a lot of different industries, especially in like banking and stuff. Their ruling planet is Saturn. If you're looking for their astrological map, it looks like a big kind of V or triangular shaped kind of looking thing. Um, and they rule the skeletal structure, the bones, joints, knees, and teeth, the framework of the body, essentially, and the spleen. So really, they're like the outer skin, and of course, the outer skin really only gets penetrated if you like really try super hard. But otherwise, it's like there's plenty of things that are trying to get in, and they don't because Capricorn doesn't let anybody in. So Capricorn is a very intense sign, and I actually love them very much as a Cancer myself. It's just that I feel as though one of their big things is that they complain all the time, and the reason that they complain is because they just don't understand emotions. And I think that that's probably the only thing that Capricorns need to actually understand. Like, you are very unemotional creatures, and if you just learned to interpret emotions a little bit better, you'd have much more balance in your life, and you'd be able to find those things that really meant the most importance to you, rather than working and slaving away and killing yourself all day. And I say that out of love, not out of spite. I've never really been wronged by a Capricorn necessarily. Actually, I know that's a lie. I have, but when I have been wronged, it's been because I thought that they cared about me, but they clearly didn't. So, Capricorn, very ambitious, resourceful, patient, and responsible people, but they can be distrusting, pessimistic, materialistic, emotionally detached, or basically stubborn. I wouldn't even put egotistical on this list. I kind of got this list from just like typing stuff up really late at night. But basically, what I would say about Capricorn is they have a tendency to not understand themselves, and I think that's probably the biggest thing. In the Chinese zodiac, they're the rooster, but in the Western, they're the sea goat. Why? Because these animals look weird. Okay, like that's why. It's because the rooster is they're the hardest working animal. They wake up earlier than anybody else. They greet the morning sun, but it's ruled by Saturn. So why would the rooster be associated with Saturn when Saturn is pretty much the planet that is the complete opposite of the sun? Well, that's because Saturn is not necessarily a bad planet. It's a planet which rules, a lot of our time signatures, a lot of the way that we work, a lot of the way that we're disciplined, right? But there is a lot of hidden attributes of Saturn, not just in other people's religions, but also just in general. But there's also an aspect of this duality of Capricorns, and actually, this is why they, of any other astrological symbol, they have the weirdest symbol. It's not dual. It can't be cut in half like many of the other ones. It can't. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense. That's because Capricorn has basically one very powerful spot in the sky, and that sky is over the star Vega, which is where we put Christmas. Vega is a star which is associated with the spleen. Vega is one of the most important stars in the sky. It's actually the star which represents humanity, and Capricorn represents sacrifice. So we actually have a big story in our astrological sky of how this Capricornian element, this sacrificial element, these guys are the ones that work hard and they put their heads down and they don't complain. And when they complain, it's because they feel like they're not getting paid enough. I mean, legitimately, this is like they feel like they're not getting enough out of what they, give to the table. And you know what? Capricorns give a ton to the table. They probably are bigger providers than most of the other signs on this list. And that's a great thing. But the thing that Capricorn doesn't realize a lot of the time is that emotional balance. This is the same that goes into Cancers, right? Cancer is the opposite sign of Capricorn. Cancer covers the emotional spectrum very, very well. But a lot of Cancers are lazy. They don't want to actually do the work. They want to sit around. They want to eat food. They want to judge other people, whatever. Capricorns, on the other hand, don't care to sit around and judge people. They're not low level bullcrap like that. Okay, they want to get the job done. They want to work through all their problems. They don't want to hear complaints. And if they want to hear complaints, they want to hear themselves complaining. They don't want to listen to you complain. Okay, they don't care about your emotional baggage. They just want to get whatever it is that they feel that they need to get done. They want to buy a house. They want to have the normal good life, and they want to work. Okay, they are a sacrificial element. They're not they're not really like the sign that's associated with like love and feelings and anything like that. They want to get the job done. They want to build the house. They want to conquer something. They want to do something. It's a very Saturnian element, right? But what I would say about Capricorn is they have basically this duality, right? So even in this picture here, you have like the goat who's standing on top and he's welcoming the sun. Like the Capricorn that can actually overcome its Saturnian aspects, its lower, like Saturn's a very far away planet, so they're very disconnected people. But if they can connect with themselves and other people, then they actually are like a shining sun. But the thing is that most of them will end up like this little old man here in this little dark cave where he's kind of like Father Time, and he's just kind of like alone, almost by himself. Like everybody else here is like, yay for the Capricorn at the top. He climbed the mountain just like a sea goat would. Like this mermaid type of little aspect here. He's like half earth, half water. It's like, what is it? Because they're very good with money. They're very good at hard working. But if you get the right Capricornian energy, then it's actually associated with that Vega star. And that Vega star is associated with the spleen in the body. And the spleen is a very earthly and watery element. So Capricorn actually rules the spleen. But does anybody know about the spleen? Does anybody talk about the spleen? I do, but not a lot of other people do. So Capricorns, I would say, are probably, next to Scorpio, one of the most misunderstood signs. But that's okay, because Capricorn, you guys are great. You make the sacrifice. That's what you are. You literally are half goat, half fish. So it's like, you make a ton of sacrifices in multiple different ways, and you're very appreciated. So I am joking a lot of the time, but Capricorns, the biggest thing for them is hair. I've seen so many nice hairstyles. I have no idea who these two people are. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who either of these actors are, but what I did notice was the hair. Look at that hair. Look at all that beautiful hair. The beautiful hair here. They have these it's just always so nice. Well, you guys have the nicest friggin' hair. The other thing too about Capricorns that are really obvious, they have little snub noses. They have these little noses which are like very snub-like. They're a little bulbous. They're a little rounder than other people's noses. And it's got this very interesting feature. They have nice teeth a lot of the time. They have very nice teeth. They rule the teeth. Specifically, not the mouth or the mouth structure, but the teeth itself. And then, of course, Capricorns being an earth sign, they can also have pretty nice bodies depending on, how well they do or how hard they work, which isn't really a hard thing for Capricorn. It's just, Capricorn, make sure you take the time to ask yourself, truly, do I love myself? Do I want to buy a house? Do I want to buy a car? Do I want to show off all these flashy things? Or do I want something more? Do I want a partner? Do I want a family? Get down to the nitty-gritty of what you really want and then pursue it before you just kind of listen to what anybody tells you. Because in that sense, you will be a sacrifice. In that sense, you will be the rooster who's just sitting there waiting for the farmer to wake up every single sunrise, and then you get your chicken feed, and then you go to bed, and it's the same monotony every single day. And that's what I feel like I find with a lot of Capricorns. They're very depressed. They hide it, but they want to be around people. They love people who love them. They love people who they want to be around, but they just don't like a lot of people. So that's all I have to say about Capricorn.